It's a bit of another grey, dull morning. It's a very slippy path that I'm on at the moment. It will brighten up. It's only early. It's just before 8 o'clock, so it will get brighter. It's December, and I brought you along here today to a bit of a different setting from what you've been seeing me fish recently. How about that for a backdrop? You could probably hear the water going over the weir. I'm here to do a little bit of river feeder fishing. I'm already set up at the peg. I don't know a lot about this spot at all, other than I've heard that there are some big barbel here. I don't really know about how many there are. I don't know if it's a rare occurrence to catch them or not, or whether there are lots of them, and I've no idea if there are other fish here as well. I don't know if there's any chub, big perch, bream. I've no idea. I can't wait to get a feeder out there. As you can expect, I'm going to be fishing with gear that's a little bit stronger than normal today. It's very snaggy here. Just down to my right, there's loads of sunken trees, there's roots down there. It's deep down here as well, close in. But it's deeper here than it is out there where I'm going to be fishing. But I'm going to get a feeder on, get a hook length on, just get out there. I'm just going to be fishing with maggots and casters today. I don't want to be too selective. I don't know what's out there. It's going to be nice to catch anything. But I'll talk you through what I'm going to be doing whilst I'm actually fishing, because I can't wait to get a feeder out there. Well, I've had 2 casts now. I haven't had a sign yet, but I think decision making is going to be a lot of today, deciding where I'm going to fish. As you can imagine, with spots like this, you've got loads of different fluctuations in flow and that sort of thing. That's obviously the main weir, but the main flow is actually this run just here, which is about 20 meters away from me. Any closer than that, as you can see, it's boiling round, and it's actually under here, it's coming that way. Now, I don't want to fish in the dead water. I want to be on the edge of that flow. As you can see by the colour of the water coming over the weir, it's not really coloured, you know, it's not necessarily in flood or anything. So I'd still want to fish in the flow or the edge of the flow if I can. So I've been to about 18 metres and it's quite snaggy there. I've only started off straight in front of me, but as the session progresses, if I don't catch or get any response, I can work my way down to these features down here, which look very, very fishy, but they look very, very messy as well. If I've got to do that later on, then I'll do that. But at the moment, I've just inched out now, so I'm at about 20-22 metres, and that's where the flow is. I'm holding bottom with a 40-gram feeder, but it does seem clean. The bottom seems clean of snags and stuff, so I think that's going to be the main thing. Really struggling to find a clear spot. I thought that 22 metre line or thereabouts was a nice clean bottom, and it has been for the last 4 casts. But then I just went back on the same spot and I've just got snagged up. It was actually straight in a snag when I picked up as well. I've lost the hook length. It's a right job breaking your gear when you've got this heavy gear on. 0.22 hook lengths. It's a right job breaking them, but so I'm going to just start to drop it further downstream now. I haven't even had a single indication, not even from a small fish. Still with 3 maggots on. So I'm just going to just drop it a little bit further downstream now, and hopefully we can find a clear patch. Well, I've had some real problems with snags. I've tried 4 different places now and I'm just getting snagged up. I've even tried in this dead water here where it's hardly, where it's not even moving. I know that's not normally the area you'd really want to fish, but I just tried it just to see if I could find a clear spot and try and catch anything, whether it was perch or whatever. but I even got snagged up there. I've just done what I didn't really want to do, and that is I've put an extra 10 gram feeder on, so I've got a 50 gram feeder on now, and I've gone right into that. I've gone over halfway now, so I'm literally about there. I'm over halfway, where I've got a count of about 5 seconds, so it's deep. I've had to feed a big bow out. As you can see, there's a decent bend in the tip now. That's a 2.5 ounce tip, and I'm right in that main flow now. It's really belting through out there, but with 50 gram on, and by feeding a big bow out, the feeder's holding nicely. I've had 3 casts there, fingers crossed, without any sort of a snag or anything when I brought it in. I still haven't had an indication, but it looks like I might have found a clear spot to focus on. Well, I've had to adapt the very last resort. I only had 3 casts on that line down the middle of that main flow, and it got snagged up again. I lost an entire kit, so that's 5 entire kits that I've lost in that peg. You know, all 5 spots I've tried. I just can't fish it with a feeder. It's just way too snaggy. So I've had to resort to moving. So I've moved 1 peg downstream. So as you look at all this debris here, that's what was on my right. Obviously the weir is just there, so I'm now 1 peg downstream. It's a lovely looking swim, this one. I mean, they all look nice swims anyway. As you can see, the debris is there, so this is pretty much dead water all the way here to halfway. So this is my first cast. I'm casting about there, halfway. It's taking a 40 gram feeder again. I've got a 5-second count, so there's still plenty of water there. You can see I've got the tip set nicely there. I'm next to the road bridge now, so there's plenty of traffic going through there. What I have done is I've kept the same size hook on, which is a 14, but because I know it's fishing hard, I've gone to a 1 meter hook length now, and just 2 red maggots on the hook, and that's it. So this is my first cast. I'm just going to keep it in that spot right down the middle, just there. A bit of a bow in the line, same tip and everything, 2.5 ounce tip. So I'm just scaling it back a little bit. I've still got 0.22 on though, because it is still very snaggy here. I can see close in. But I'm just fishing 2 maggots now, and it's a 1 meter hook length, which might attract the attention of any smaller fish there, like dace, any roach or anything like that. But we'll find out. So I'm just kicking off with just a maggot feeder again, with just maggots in the feeder, and we'll see what this swim brings. There we go, first cast in the new swim. That is probably the first gudgeon I've caught in, well, I bet it's years. The venues I've been fishing recently, in all my matches, just don't have gudgeon in them. But that is a very welcome gudgeon. They've saved lots of matchmen, those fish, we know that. I didn't see a bite on the tip, like I say, it's a 1 meter tail. And when I picked up and reeled in, there wasn't any sort of a snag or anything, so it's a very welcome, beautiful little fish. Thank you, mate. Hopefully, the main thing is we've got a clear swim to fish, you know, a clear line to fish where we could just keep putting a few maggots in, presenting a bait there, and I'm sure we're going to get a visit at some stage from some fish. How about that one for you southerners? That is what they call a Tommy Rough. I think it's very much a northern thing. It's like a perch, as you can see. It's like a cross between a gudgeon and a perch, but that's a Tommy Rough. 3 white maggots. Again, it was just nice to get a bite. Well, that was a much better bite. It's kiting down to the right a bit, snaggy down there. We've just come to the top, could be a bream. 3 maggots on. Left that heavy gear on in case I did hook a decent fish. Yeah, it looks like a skimmer, a big skimmer. It it looked like a skimmer bite, I'll be honest with you. We might even call it a bream. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, or is it a big hybrid?
Hybrid.
Looks like a great big hybrid. We've got these lads here now. There we go. Here, lads, give us a thumbs up, lads. These lads are coming barbel fishing here tomorrow, so I'll be dying to find out if they catch any. That, I don't know if that's an hybrid or an hide. We're going to have to get the fish police on this one, detectives.
Definitely an hybrid.
Is that an hybrid, isn't it? It's not an hide, it's an hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah, they're an hybrid.
How about that for a beauty? How about that? Get the belly on that. Well, we thought we might get a surprise from fishing a venue like this. What a surprise that is, what a beauty. The hook's just gone through its lip into the net. But I left that size 14 on. 3 white maggots on that 022, just in case I hooked a proper fish. But just look at the belly on that. It's a healthy fish. Fantastic, we wanted a surprise, I think we've got one. Well, it's still very cloudy and dull. It's hardly been daylight today. The rain is here as well, and there's a bit of a breeze blowing, and it's not very warm at all. Changing to fishing to a clip, having found that clear spot has really made a difference. I've had about a dozen small fish now. I've had 3 gudgeon now. Ironically, when the bailiff came round, he says that it's actually rare to catch a gudgeon on this stretch now. So there we go. But it's just been nice to get a few bites. Obviously that big hybrid was a highlight. I'm just going to have 2 or 3 more casts now. I'm on that same spot. At least it's clear, that's the main thing. It is giving me a chance to actually fish it. Just for your interest, it's about 2 meters short of halfway, but there is a snag about 2 meters back, so when I do pick up, whether I've had a bite or not, I've got to get the rod up and over that snag, otherwise it just pulls in. But sometimes fishing just over snags like that can be where fish hang out, and it's definitely got, you know, got a few more bites there. But I'm gonna have a couple more casts before this rain gets any heavier, and it'd be nice to get another surprise. The perch are on it now, same hook bait, 3 white maggots. I think we're going for the species cup now, but unbelievably, that's 3 indications in 3 casts. So I'm actually clipped up now, so maybe that's making a difference, because I'm hitting that same spot every time, and maybe it's just building up a bit of a better bait. But I think the most important thing is it's clear where I'm fishing now. I'm not getting any snags, so I just think it's giving us a chance to fish it. Well, I really thought we were going to latch into a big fish, certainly as this light started to fade, but unfortunately not. We know the bigger fish are here, and it's not only about finding these nice spots like this where the big fish do live. You've also got to find them on the right day as well, and that's where river fishing really comes into its own. You know, it's the bailiff's been around and said it hasn't been fishing too good, but we did get that nice big surprise hybrid, and I've had about a dozen small fish as well, which has kept it a little bit interesting. But I hope you've enjoyed me sharing this experience with you. If you have, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos from this channel, please hit subscribe. So thanks for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you next time.